Well, we made it. It's January 10th. We've got the USDA report coming out in right around 10 minutes. So Brady, Huck, and I, we're going to give you a few things to look at, right? What numbers, what are analysts looking for ahead of time? We'll give you the report reaction, right? We'll look at the price action. We'll try and give you the quick hits. Make sure to tune in later. We'll have our research team doing a deep dive of the number, right? We want to look more on the price action. If you're feeling bold, drop a comment and let's hear some guesses before the report, right? If you're willing to put yourself out there, let's see. We'll pop them up. But with that, Brady, go ahead and jump in here. Let's go ahead. Let's get to it, right? Give us a quick rundown if you want of where we are, right? We're very much chopping around. Soybeans catching a little bit, but I don't know if it's because of the report. I think it's a little bit on this whole 45Z, right? What are we going to get? What are we not going to get type of thing. But anyway, let's quote it up. We'll talk about this report.
Sounds good. Yeah. What's the bigger deal today, 45Z or the USDA report? That's $1 million question. We'll see what happens here. But yeah, beans up 7.5. March beans up 7.5 at 10.06 currently. March corn up a penny and a half at 457.5. Kind of weaker in the back. The D's 25 corn 446.5, down a half a cent. I'm looking over at wheat, Chicago wheat. Getting the sellers are winning the battle here out of the gate this morning, down 7.25 on Chicago March wheat, 526.75. March KC wheat down 6 cents, 544.25. And I like to look at July March KC wheat down 5.25 at 561.75 as well. Cattle are still firm, but they're off the highs, well off the highs. Feeders up to 97 on January. January's hot following that index data, while April is only up 92.5, so just under $1. Then on the fat side of things, fat cattle side of things, up $1 on Feb, a little bit weaker in the back. So definitely front month led on the cattle side of things. Hogs are up, crude's up $1.90, so a little weaker than we were in the morning show, but still firm day on crude. Diesel up 8 cents, nat gas up 25 cents. The Dow down 650 points on the March. S&P down 93, the NASDAQ down 398. Wild market here across the board.
Absolutely. And so I got to say, we're going to talk USDA report, but I got to mention this 45Z. I saw this tweet is that we're expecting Treasury to release intent to propose rulemaking on 45Z tax credits this afternoon. So yesterday it was that we're going to get some guidance, and now intent to propose rulemaking. I don't know what that's legalese above my head, but it looks like we're gonna say something, I guess, this afternoon. Interesting to see. That'll be a headline, I think, this afternoon.
That's some well-crafted wordsmanship right there. Intent. Interim. Intent. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's look. I want to go ahead and pop up the WASDE numbers, right? Look at them. Brady, walk us through what are you paying attention to? What are you looking at? Walk us through it.
Yeah, well, the big question is what's going to be the surprise, right? But the trade's kind of looking for softer U.S. ending stocks on corn, softer ending stocks on soybean, a little tighter on both of those, I guess I'd say. And on the wheat front, kind of flat, unchanged, maybe a little bigger there on the wheat in U.S. ending stocks. World stocks looks like a similar story, maybe flat on beans, tighter on corn, and looks like a little tighter on the wheat side of things too. But the ranges are significant, and who knows what's going to get printed. And like you hinted there earlier this morning, the South American crop, Brazil bean, how big a number will we get on that front? And, on the Argentine corn, will they make any downward revisions regarding Argentina corn? Looks like most of the guesses are for lower on Argentine corn adjustments, but we'll see what gets printed, how the trade reacts, what's priced in, like you talked about this morning as well. We've had a nice run on March corn, 457.5. If you sold all your grain off the combine in the fall and didn't buy calls back against it, you're maybe wishing you would here. But I don't know. If you have some grain left to sell, these prices, it's good to see them. It's good to see the run we've had the last month here, Connor.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's the takeaways when you look at these, when we talk about trying to speculate around USDA reports, you got to know what numbers are going to print. And then also you got to be ready. How's the trade going to react to those numbers, right? Bullish number, bearish reaction. We've seen it before. The main takeaways when we look at U.S. production, looking at the corn and soybean yield, this is going to be the final yield number, right? Whatever they print today is what we're going with, going forward, right? That's our number. And so time will tell. Last year we saw very much caught us off guard with how much they raised that corn yield last year, right? If we saw them raise corn soybean yield, it would be bucking the trend, right? The trend has been continually cutting ending stocks these past, I don't know, what is it, Brady, 3, 4, 5 USDA reports. So that's been the trend. Other thing I'll pop up is we got to look at what's the historical price volatility with this report. And as you can see, we go back, my eyes go to 2009, 2011, right? Let's not get it 2009, and nice to see some nice reactions. But, it's all across the board. Obviously, last year was a little bit more bearish than previous years. But, this market, it brings, it's a lot of information, and it usually brings some price volatility.
So is this going to be like baseball where they have to put an asterisk on today's reaction because of the 45Z announcement that could come? I mean, you take in those factors, and if you look back at the history, you'd think maybe if we have a positive reaction because of 45Z that, hey, we had a friendly bean number today, but maybe some outside forces at play here. It's always interesting the other caveats that happen on these same days of reporting.
And, as soon as we get the data, right, the trade processes it, how fast we move on to the next unknown and the next potential, right? Monday morning is going to come around, and it's going to be, we're going to be talking policy. We're going to be talking 45Z, right? The trade, they call it the futures market for a reason, because we're always looking to the future. What's the next headline, right? As soon as the information is in front of us, it's digested, and things move very quickly.
That's a great point. Yeah, we got a lot in front of us ahead of these markets, and things are going to change. And we'll see what numbers we get. We'll move on, and there will be plenty of macro noise. If your risk management plan is based on what the USDA is going to print today, what this report says, newsflash, you don't have a risk management plan.
I like it, right? Let's keep it in mind. Old crop, new crop, right? We got 355 days left of 2025, but we're going to see what the numbers say here in about 2 minutes out.
Yep. Right? Clicking away here. So,
yep. So
I might pull up this quote board here and give you a little snapshot of what we're looking at live. The market's green on the screen with corn and beans, and wheat markets feeling a little heavy right now, but we'll see how the report reacts.
Yeah. So good stuff, right? I think I know the first number. I'm going to be looking for that final yield number. I can't help it. It's just the way I am. But then what we see for South America, Brazil, right? Can we see, trades expecting a Brazil soybean production number north of 170? How big can we see something in the 171? The naysayers, right? The soybean bulls are saying this dryness in the southern parts of Brazil, right? It's not indicative of this. It's going to weigh down yield. Maybe we don't see a number above 170. Time will tell. We'll know a whole lot more in about 1 minute.
1 minute here. I don't know about you, Connor, but
I'm all jacked up on Mountain
Dew. You're killing me with these sound bites. They're great.
Yeah, they're a fun time. Yeah, good stuff. But it is exciting. It's an exciting report. Hopefully we see some positive results here. But we'll see. Yes. We shall see.
Yep.
The countdown begins. Thanks for joining us today.
Yep. So looks like 10:59. As always, right? It's we're gonna yell the numbers out as soon as we get them. That's why I'm looking over here.
Yep. We got a little giveaway here later, don't we? We're gonna do a giveaway after
here we go.
Drop stuff. Numbers are out. Green on the screen. Good to see. Beans are moving higher, up 19.
Okay.
Corn.
It looks
465 corn. Wow. Wheat's working its way back to unchanged. Wheat turned green. KC wheat turned green. March corn up 10 cents, 466. Beans up 23 cents. Markets are moving, catching a bid here. It's good to see. Good to see.
Here we go. So
it's a fantastic reaction.
Brady, I'm seeing a bit. We might have seen a big pullback on corn yield, looking at below a 170, 180, looking at a 179. talking about a big hit. Looking at production numbers.
Okay. Corn up
So
11.5 cents here out of the gate.
Here we go. Soybean yield, right? We're seeing soybean yield drop 50.7 from a 51.7. So right now, right off the bat, the story, they pulled back corn yield significantly, looking at a 179.3 final yield, really almost the opposite of what we saw last year. Looking at ending, right? We're taking ending stocks down to a 1.5, Brady.
That's wow. That's tight. 1.5, that changes things. That's interesting. Wow. Okay.
So
corn catching a bid here. March corn up 12 cents at one point here. Good to see. I'm gonna try to grab Ben Eicher's snip and pull that into the show real quick while we're
looking we saw a decrease on soybean ending stocks too, going to a 380, right? Slight reduction in yield, slight reduction in ending stocks. But the story is going to be this corn market. Look at it go. It'd be nice when I'm looking at Dees. Be nice to see a little bit more of a rally in December corn, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. Nice to see this old crop rally. Very nice to see. Okay, let's try and get you some wheat. I don't have Brazil numbers yet. That's the other one I was looking for, but
nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm working to pull Ben's deal in here. Pardon me. I'm computer illiterate at the moment.
I'll keep running down. Right, looking at harvested area, not a big change. We increased it ever so slightly. Looking at exports, we raised exports ever so slightly, went to a 2,475. So yeah, looking at a big drop on ending stocks.
I got Ben Snip in here, Connor B, if that helps anything, but looking over, would be very curious what South America. That's not on his snip his snapshot that I see.
And I don't have him in front of me either. But
gotcha.
Here we go.
Still on those highs. Great price action there. 10-20. We got a giveaway here too, so don't forget about that. Stick around for that. We got something we're excited to roll out to some people here if you stay on and stay tuned. But corn on the highs are 468, the high 468.5. D's 25 corn 450. If you got some target orders working at 450, you might check them. They might have filled. Looks like they probably did. 450.25.
How about let's look at a quick March corn chart, Brady, if you could, not to put you on the spot, but
yeah, well, let's see what I can do here.
Yeah, no hurry. So if you're just jumping on, right, we're seeing corn, soybeans both. We saw the ending stocks number drop again. I saw a stat on corn. This is like 5 or 6 times in a row that we've reduced ending stocks off a USDA report. First time in like 20 years, Brady, right, that we've seen. Let's go back to the peak bearish time, middle of this summer. We've consistently reduced carryout every USDA report, and we're seeing it today. Okay, look at that corn chart. Looks pretty friendly to me.
That's a big breakout, 468. You throw this where we're at right here. Look at that, kind of tickling back here, these lows we saw last February. So I'd say we're very much kind of approaching that area of past support turns into, resistance, can very quickly turn into resistance. So double check orders. You got some old crop out there. You got some opportunity knocking on the door. Act fast. Nothing wrong with staying in the game for more continued upside, but there might be some things you ought to be doing right now if you're sitting on some old crop grain. New crop side of things, D's 25.
It's it's not moving. It is really that 450 level. Right, I don't know where's it look at on a chart, but really knock on the door. Right, we'll see if we can. We got two hours left in the trading day, so we'll see if we can't break through that and see. It'd be nice to see old crop picking. Right, maybe I'm being a little picky here, but I like seeing a bullish report, and I want to see D's corn at more than 3 cents.
Yeah, we got an old crop story with that tight stocks, but that 95 million acres of potential U.S. planting that could come around the corner. The trade's not worried about next year quite yet. And you got the safrinha corn crop that's going to be right behind this. So you got two significant corn crops over the coming year that could bail us out of this tight situation. But the market's definitely a little nervous about the near term, that 1.5 U.S. supply there. So it's an old crop market right now, and that highlights the importance of staying in the game with the current crop that you got marketing. Because just because we talk about always being long that next crop, well, the next crop's not rallying right here, Connor. So the importance of having those calls against that fall crop sale that you have on the books. This is why that we got an old crop market and new crops just kind of dragging its feet up with it, which is good to see. But yeah, you want to own the old crop.
Yep. And so I'd be interesting to see. I haven't seen them yet. If you have, Brady, the South America production numbers, right? Looking at Brazil, because corn's catching a bid. Nice to see old crop or March corn up 12. Soybeans, right? March soybeans up 24, 25. So good price action there. Now, you said it before we started, where this whole 45Z, that type of rhetoric is definitely kind of maybe fueling the fire. But we're seeing ending stocks decrease on soybeans as well. So nice friendly report for corn and soybeans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to find that bean number on the world balance sheet.
Here, Luke asks, how large was the harvested acres corn change on corn? Luke, it was, looking at harvested acres on the December WASDE, we were at 82.7. We went to an 82.9. So increased it ever so slightly. So not a big change there in terms of harvested acres, right? The big change is definitely in the yield number, right? The other one, exports, we did see exports increase. So good to see there. But yeah, so ending stocks went from a 1738 to a 154, a decrease of almost 200 million bushels. So that's how fast things can change.
Looks like that South America, that Brazil number stayed the same there. They left that unchanged, 169. Connor B. I'm gonna get that out of
left
here.
It unchanged. Okay, so we didn't see the 170. So I think that's additionally fueling this soybean market. And so good to see. Amazing, right? If we go back to last year, the final yield was a 177. Everything that we saw through 2024, right? These great growing conditions. Where did the yield top out? Did we see a 184? And then we've pulled it back. Now we dropped it almost 4 bushel on this last report, right? I made a few jokes about how it's going to be a record unless we see something dramatic. Guess what? It's still a record crop, 179, only 2 bushel better than last year, Brady. So, a much closer than we thought. Big pullback on overall corn yield.
Yep. We'll take it, Connor B.
Heck yeah.
There we go. Good to see these markets rally. You want to do the giveaway here, Connor B?
Yeah, let's do it. Right, we got some good viewers. So, hey, we're feeling. We had this idea right before we jumped on. Rick got a nice graphic. Hey, if you're interested, you want to see more, right? I think after this, we're going to do a huddle and talk a little bit how guys should be squared up. Now that we have the numbers type of thing, hey, send us a text. Send us an email, right? Give us a text. Give us your name and location. Free trial to ATI Pro Media, right? How many? You want to do the first 5?
Let's do the first 5 that text us here at that number, 309-402-0039 there on your screen. The first 5 that text us here, give us your name, your location. We'll put you on a 30-day free trial with Pro Media and get you some content coming to your way. We appreciate all our subscribers and everybody that tunes in here to these live streams and watches us. We hope we're adding some value to you, your operations. It's good to see these markets move higher. We got a great team behind the scenes that helps us put all this stuff on the premium side of things. The live show is just a piece of it. The premium side, we had Michael Reginelli on yesterday talking cash grain markets. Earlier in the week, we talked managing LRP on your cattle positions. We just got a slew of stuff that we're throwing at you on the premium side that we can't give it away, but we can give you a taste of it if you're willing to give us your name, your location, sign up here. We'll give you a free trial to feel it out. So text us throw that graphic up one more time. That way, guys, got a number. We'll be watching the first 5 that come through. If you text us 309-402-0039, your name, your location, we'll get you signed up with a free trial of Pro Media.
Yep. Okay. We'll run it as a ticker. So, Brady, I want to give a rundown of the numbers real quick one more time. Then let's talk through a couple questions. And so the first one, looking at the corn balance sheet, right? The big number is that we reduced from the December WASDE to this January WASDE, we reduced corn yield by 3.8 bushel, right? So now our final corn yield for the 24 crop is officially a 179.3. And I believe trend line was at like 181, 180. So officially below trend line for, the trend continues there. But then we saw ending stocks come in December. We were at a 1.7. Now we're closer to a 1.5. Soybeans, right? Flipping over to soybeans. We saw yield trimmed as well. Not quite maybe as dramatic as the corn number. We went from a 51.7 to a 50.7, right? A bushel drop there. And then with that, we took ending stocks from a 470 carryout to a 380. So then on top of that, right, we did not see an increase that maybe a lot of people were thinking in terms of South America. Maybe we could layer in then this 45Z talk with the soy oil. I think that's fueling the fire. We got soybeans up big, and we got old crop corn. It looks like new crop corn is really trying to follow as well. It's breaking out, looking at up 6. So overall, friendly report, and we're going to take it.
Friendly on the grain side, but I just scrolled down below here. Cattle opened up really firm. Look at them backing off. Feeders down a buck there, $1.40. And the crazy thing here, Connor B, we talked about this relentlessly this week. January feeders still up $1.675. March, that's where the volume is. That's where the open interest is. January's got to sell to that index in 20 days, and March is rolling over. So if your hedges are in the Jan and you're not selling your cattle in the Jan against that index, you're in the wrong spot, buddy. Wow. Look at that move. Crazy stuff. Connor B, at the end of the day, these numbers, though, from the USDA, they may be precise, but they're wrong. They're wrong. They'll change.
Oh, man. Bourbon Brown, I don't understand one thing. If there's no change on Brazil and Argentina production and stocks-to-use ratio is 0.24% smaller, how come prices are going up? I think it's the domestic number, right? We saw carry out in the U.S. trimmed quite a bit, and it's one of those. I said bullish numbers, bearish reaction, but also we could see maybe on paper a bearish number, bullish reaction, right? If everyone was predicting that we were going to see 170, 170 and a half, 171 out of Brazil, and the USDA didn't give it to us, well, that kind of fuels the fire. So I think it's one of those, bullish domestic numbers, not necessarily bearish South America numbers. And that's that's kind of how we start building the story.
Look at that world ending stocks down there on the beans. I just kind of catching that the average estimate 132.2 and coming at 128.37 the world ending stocks on beans. So the average estimate was significant. And then the prior, it was looking to go up and it went down. So we'll have to dig in. The A team will be on later here, 115, 130. They will dive in more detail with those numbers, talk about, merchandising spreads, cash grain movement. We got Nate Girocco, Brian Basting, Mark Tulaski. They're going to do a great job. They always do. They'll be back breaking this report down in more detail. Tune into that. Make sure you're tuning into that. And I'll reiterate once again, if you're still joining late, first 5 to text us, 309-402-0039, your name, your location. We're giving away a free trial to premium to the first 5 that send us 30-day trial. Text us, hit us up. I don't know if we still have we got 5 yet, Connor B. I haven't looked at the text coming through, but we might be there already. But still, text us regardless. There's a chance. There's a chance. Yeah. So this grain market, though, it's fighting. The bulls are fighting, Connor.
Here we go. All right, good stuff. I don't think we have any other questions. What do you think? You want to jump out of here? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm going to flash up the quotes one more time because, gosh, you got to celebrate when these markets are strong and green. Soybeans up 28 cents, 10.27 on March beans. Old crop corn up 15.5. Fantastic. Good to see the old crop rally. New crop beans hanging in there much better than new crop corn, Connor.
Yes, absolutely. Good to see. Yeah, still just got that new crop corn up 4, right? We'll take it. I'm not saying that I'll take a higher price, but when you see that March corn up 15, right, it significantly changes things. And so, yeah, well, with that, thanks everyone for watching, right? We're always available. We'll be doing it. We'll be live again Monday, and I'm sure we'll have some, maybe some 45Z rhetoric to talk about. We're going to be talking about these numbers, talking about this price action for the next couple hours. And so with that, Brady, any closing thoughts?
Nope. Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. Text us. Looking forward to visiting with y'all, and have a great weekend. See you, Connor.
Good one, everyone.